Welcome back, everybody, to Late Night at the Movies on the Late Night Chat Network, your first stop for pop culture talk. I'm your host, Nico, and joining with me today, we got our special Halloween guest, Christine.
Hey, guys.
What's going on?
How much?
We're actually recording this at the time of recording, and hopefully by the time if you were to check it out the night it drops, although I wouldn't expect you guys to, because there's a lot, at least if you're a local watching this, going on in Toronto
There's
here
a
this
lot
evening.
happening today.
That's right. Go Jays, go. Trying to close out the World Series win here. Yeah. Well, for me, I got my shirt on for the occasion.
We're both themed.
Yeah. But yeah, this is our Halloween episode, and in preparation for this episode, we watched 11 movies in the Hellraiser franchise. We've kind of picked this to be our topic of discussion and for the movies that we watched, instead of kind of just doing a deep dive conversation on one film, we figured let's rank and discuss the 11 films in an underappreciated franchise, I would say, in terms of like the slasher films, horror movies.
We also learned that there was movies that we weren't even aware of when we decided to do
this. Yeah, which
there was like
pretty
9
cool.
when we thought we were doing, and then we tacked on 2 more.
I think there was 10. No, I think there one of them we
9.
I for sure 10. There's one I definitely have not seen. One we don't really recall seeing, but I feel like we did watch that other one.
Okay.
But we'll get into it when we kind of go through the rankings here. So we're gonna use this website, the Tier Maker website. So shout out to this website, no affiliation with them. But if you guys check them out online, and I mean, I've seen other people do this before. It's a really fun program. You can create and save your own tiers on there, and so we actually found one on the website that's for the Hellraiser films. It's already on there, so someone else out there has done this one before for their own interest.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. We also kind of did like a variation of that, like on another website, on some more recent episodes that we've dropped. We've been dropping episodes all week throughout the week of Halloween. You and Katie were actually just on a couple of episodes. One where we discussed our top 5 horror movies, like our lists, our picks for top 5 of that. And we also talked about some other, our favorite film adaptations from book to film ones. And then we also did an episode where we basically did horror brackets instead of like a tier maker. We used it for the bracket function, just trying to see,
chaotic.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So definitely go check out those videos in the feed, in the Late Night at the Movies playlist here for you guys. And after the first week of November, we'll also be dropping me and Christine's discussion about our October spooky season watches. Basically all the movies that we've watched leading up to Halloween, we'll be kind of discussing off of our Letterboxd list here of spooky season films. Christine, you've been killing it on that front. You've actually watched a lot more than I have this year.
I've watched a lot.
Yeah.
Don't know where I got the time, but I watched a lot.
So stay tuned for that. That'll be dropping the first week of November, post Halloween, just because there's a couple of films that came out around Halloween or just the day before Halloween that I kind of want to watch. And
we also need to recuperate.
That too, yeah.
It's been a busy week.
But like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And actually, since we are on the topic of the other videos that you've done, Christine, why don't you mention you guys are also on those episodes, you and Katie, your friend Katie, to promote your new TikTok and Instagram
we have a
account.
New TikTok account. It's called Boozy Books with Chris and Kat. So we're on TikTok and Instagram. We'll have it tagged below, so you can go check us out. It's been a lot of fun. We just kind of rate books, pick a book. Usually every couple of weeks, I'll pick one, she'll pick one, and we got to read it and kind of go review it together. And then there's a lot of random other stuff. We pick a cocktail to make to pair with the book. So it's been a lot of fun. It's gotten us really back into reading for sure. So
yeah, that it is a really fun account. Definitely check it out and some of the content they've been doing. And I know you've been dropping some stuff leading up to Halloween as well, which is more spooky season related. We've
tried to be theme oriented as well a little bit.
Yeah, but the books that you guys cover on there are all kinds of different
all genres. There's not really anything. If you're there to review like the classics of literature, it's probably not going to be your type of account, but you can still check it out.
Yeah, subscribe. Go hit the subscribe. Go check them out. Comment, and we appreciate that. Okay, so we're gonna put this up on the screen here in a moment. Is there anything I'm forgetting there? I guess prior to jumping into it.
I don't think so. I think that's pretty much
So
rundown of everything.
Before we put this on the screen, let's mention, and if we enjoy doing this, maybe we can make this a yearly thing. If you guys want to watch other episodes with Christine, actually in the playlist as well, she's been on annually as long as we've been doing Late Night at the Movies or movie discussion show. And she's been coming on and doing basically like around October. She usually comes on once a year and does like a, you know, an October watch, like horror movie or whatever.
Yeah.
The reason we kind of went with this one, I feel like, is that we feel like this is one that we've always enjoyed and talked about and have seen many of the subsequent movies that came out in this franchise. And out of all like the slashers, although, you know, I know he's categorized as such, but like I just don't even think of him in that same fashion, honestly. But out of like, you know, all the horror movie icon people, like I feel like this is one
icon.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he's one that's discussed and known of in like more tighter circles of people that enjoy horror movies. But I feel like whenever we've talked about this character a lot, even of our friends or people we know that like horror movies or watch sometimes these type of movies, there's not a lot of people familiar with this character or these films for that matter, I find. So
yeah,
as big as he is, I feel like in certain circles,
if you know.
Yeah.
And then like if you try to talk like a wide berth, it's not really there.
No, I agree. So you kind of thought that this would be a fun one to do in that regard, just because like when it comes to Freddy, when it comes to Jason, when it comes to Michael Myers, when it comes to even more modern slasher or horror movie icon people like, you know, Ghostface from the Scream movies, or even Art the Clown from the Terrifier films in the last, like, whatever, I guess it's been like 10 years now, right?
Yeah.
Well, from the time that Hallows Eve came out,
but
I think
really just blew up in the last like 3 years.
Yeah. You know, he's not really discussed in that same sense amongst those people. So you know, as we get into it here, I mean, there may be good reason for that, possibly. Although I think the last entry was just in 2022, I believe was the last newest one, if I'm not mistaken, or 2023. So like they have put out
putting out films.
Yeah, pretty consistently. Like, I mean, at this point, it's the one franchise. I know that they're going to be doing a Friday the 13th show now. And Halloween has kind of kept up in that regard. 2022, yeah. Halloween has kind of kept up in that regard. But like the Friday the 13th and the and the Freddy films haven't really, Nightmare on Elm Street films haven't really kept up in that regard in more recent years, right? Even though I know that there's stuff in the works and all that kind of stuff. And I know that even this franchise kind of went by the wayside for a bit. I didn't really have enough time going into this discussion. I had planned to do it. And maybe this will be something for another time we can talk about. I know there's a couple documentaries out there and like more information you guys could actually look up. The actual, like a lot of these horror franchises, the history behind this one is very interesting. What I've learned along the way, some of the stuff that happened behind the scenes. You know, behind the making of this one, what had happened sometimes with studio or funding, or like the actor Doug Bradley, who played the original Pinhead, as you can see in the background here, is no longer part of the franchise. Although I heard that he is voicing him in the new video game that's supposed to be coming out in 2026, which will be like his first foray back into this world as a result, right? So, and Clive Barker is the author of the I think it's Hellbound Heart, I want to say. It's is the author of the actual original
book where the characters came from.
Yeah, so it's a novella published in 1986 by Dark Harvest, in the third volume of its Night Visions anthology series from Clive Barker. So this is the third volume, and I guess a group of novellas in like an anthology series that called the Hellbound Heart, and Pinhead is the main character of this, him and his Cenobites, and you know, everything this kind of has had to offer these films. But yeah, okay, so let's get into it. Let's rank these. Let's bring this up on the screen here. But yeah, anything else you want to add though?
No, I think you pretty much covered it.
Okay. But yeah, that's kind of why we wanted to do this one, though, just because I feel like a lot of the other things are overrepresented at this point. So,
and he's such an awesome design.
Yeah,
like the Cenobite designs are incredible.
Yeah, he's a very cool looking character, him and the Cenobites. So, we thought it'd be interesting in that sense, like as well, just because we've always really enjoyed this character.
Yeah. Had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I've watched this years ago. I probably watched it, I guess, the first time with you. We both watched it, I think, at the same time, right? For the
Not for the
first.
first time. I've
Oh, you had watched it before me
Yeah.
then? Okay, maybe it was the first time that I watched it then.
I had
Yeah.
watched it before.
But it was many years ago that we both watched them. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think the last time we kind of watched almost all of these, like you had mentioned, there's one I feel like that slipped through between the cracks for us, or one or two
slipped through, and then one we never even knew it existed.
Yeah, I think the last time we had watched at least 9 of these 11 films, I think, was back when the new one had come out that Halloween in 2022. I think that was probably around the last time we've watched majority of these. Yeah, but I don't think we've ever sat down like this and watched them all back to back like we did. Okay, so first up here in the tier list here, we got the original Hellraiser film. Now we're gonna have to agree in terms of ranking on these movies, just because I can only place it in one spot, so there might be some big back and forths here, but I think I speak for both of us when I say that this one goes in the S ranking.
Hell yes.
Yeah. This is hands down the best film in the franchise, in my opinion. It's the one that started it all. It has the original Pinhead, obviously. Like, I don't know this stat to be true or not, but it may have had the biggest budget these first couple of movies, right? I think it shows.
Probably.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know for sure, but if we're looking at quality,
right,
I would say.
I mean, there's some great practical effects in this first film. This is actually directed by Clive Barker, the author of this story as well. This is done in 1987, so it looks like it was actually a pretty fast turnaround from the book to the film to actually had come out. I don't even know how many films he's even really directed, honestly. Clive Barker. I guess I could look that up here, but this is a really good movie. I don't know him as a director. I know him as an author.
Director of 5 films.
5 films. Okay, was this his first film though? I
don't know. This doesn't put it in order of.
Okay. I mean, it's good to know that this isn't his only film that he ever did, but if it was,
well, he's done shorts. It looks like
shorts. Okay.
So yeah, the other ones that I'm seeing here are all. Oh no, that's a feature length. Lord of Illusions.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That came out in 95.
Okay.
And then something else called Nightbreed.
Oh yeah, I know Nightbreed,
which was 1990.
Yeah.
So 3 full length and 2 shorts.
So this was probably his first film, then, I would say. Yeah. Honestly,
the 2 shorts predated Hellraiser.
Okay. For his first feature length film, this is a pretty great first outing, honestly. And the thing I like about this movie the most is that, I mean, first of all, there's some very funny moments, but purposeful or not, as like there tends to be in some of these horror films. There is some acting that's not spectacular, I would say, even in this first film. But honestly, as far as these movies go, the look of the character, the practical effects, the creepiness of this world. You want to know more instantly when you get introduced to the Cenobites, and the look of this guy, and you want to know more about him and what his past, as you kind of do tend to learn more as you go throughout the franchise, whether or not that's for the best or not. But it's just such a scaled down, very simplistic kind of approach to the setup of this movie. And the whole idea of the puzzle box and the pain and pleasure, and the lines in this, right? I have such sights to show you, which ends up kind of, becoming a line throughout the franchise, and the chains, and just that weird rotating
column
that has like body parts on it. it's just so many, like, the grossness of that guy, this with his stripped skin, the uncle that comes back from hell, essentially, that's been tortured, and the whole mythos of small, like the little bit that they explain, they just give you just enough to kind of get your imagination going, to get interested in this world and this character in this film. And for that reason, and for the look of the character himself, it has to get the superior ranking, I feel like. And
the fact that it like grips you and like you just want to know more, and really you can nitpick if you want to about things, but overall, fantastic film.
Yeah. So, okay. So then go up to the second movie here. This is Hellraiser 2, Hellbound.
Yeah. So this one was a direct continuation from the first one,
Yes.
which was cool.
With the main final girl, essentially, from the first movie, just a little bit older at this point, right?
And this came out a year after.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1988. Yeah. Well, I gave it a 4-star. I feel like we gave a lot of things pretty similar.
In terms of our ratings, we rated these on like a letterbox scale on our spooky season list. So when we
Just
do that,
to give ourselves an idea of what we're getting into here.
as we go on throughout the movies as well, I'll try to give like some context to some of the basic plot setup, because there's these kind of start blending together at a certain point. There's a few films in the middle that are very similar to one another, other than like a different type of character. And as this series actually ends up going on, you actually see Pinhead and the Cenobites less and less, which is actually very disappointing.
These films.
And we can get into the reasoning behind that a little bit more when we get to those movies, because in the middle of the franchise, that's when it gets really funky. I would say though, like, to anybody checking these movies out, these first two are probably the best. I mean, I would
probably give this an A.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was going to say this is the closest I can give to, I guess, the superior ranking on this list. Honestly, I don't think anything's going to overthrow the first film. Maybe even match it, honestly. But if anything comes close, I would say it would be the second movie here.
Yeah.
I know we have our personal favorites that you guys will see as we go through it, which objectively maybe wouldn't be everybody's. I mean, this is our list, but
we're not doing this for anybody else.
Yeah, so just be forewarned in that regard too. I actually, the funny thing about that is too that I actually was looking into some of the reviews about some of these other movies, and that seems to be the case. Some people have their favorites in the series, where 100%. It's just like ones where we're like that was a piece of shit. Other people are like, this is one of the ones that goes for horror in general. Some people just find some of them really funny or just stupid, and they enjoy it for that matter, right? Like, so I agree though. A ranking is definitely where I would rank this second movie. I think that's deserving.
It was a solid second film to pair with the first one.
And basically in this one, she goes into his realm. Essentially, she actually accesses. She goes and she's in an asylum. It seems like in the second one, and she's being kind of monitored because she was thought to be crazy for what had happened in the events of the first
film. You were fucking crazy for what you're spewing.
Yeah, it kind of went the Nightmare on Elm Street route a little bit in that sense, right? Or even Halloween for that matter, because eventually that's what happens in Halloween anyways, right? I mean, with her that character, I mean, that crappy one, Resurrection or whatever, where she ends up, she's in the hospital, right? Mental hospital. So basically, she's in there, she's being watched, monitored, and you find out like one of the people that works there is somebody who's like obsessed with learning about this stuff, and he actually uses her and uses like the old mattress from the first movie where there's the blood-soaked mattress to resurrect the woman who was her stepmother from the first film and bring her back out of hell, similar to what they did with her uncle, where she comes back and she's like bringing her sacrifices to strip their skin and basically become human again, or some form of
some version of it.
And between her and another girl that's in the mental ward there, they are able to access, like, go into hell in this one, or his like domain essentially, and then she has to like fight her way back out. And there's like a lot. This is kind of like the first time where you kind of get a little bit of that like background and look at his world, where again, as the movies go on, they don't give you as much like as this film did. And as a companion piece to the first movie, really well done. So definitely A ranking. Okay, so now we're going on to Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. This one's tricky. This is one of those movies I was referring to that it seems that a lot of people still are in on the franchise with this movie, but I felt like this was a huge drop off in terms of like Here's the thing. When I first saw this, because we were trying to watch these in order, I'm like, okay, this is the first sign of like, this is not as good clearly as these last two movies. But then, like, almost retroactively, I was looking at this movie compared to some of the others in the franchise as we went on. I'm like, you know what?
Upgraded your rating.
I did. I'm like, this isn't that as bad, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like the Cenobites are ridiculous in this movie, but it's because he's like fashioning them out of like humans in the real world. This is where he crosses over into their movie, their world.
Yeah.
Essentially.
He's in our world.
Yeah, hence the name Hell on Earth.
Yeah.
But the acting and the actors in this are so bad.
Some of these friggin' Cenobites, though, they were
the one with the CDs in his head. It was like a DJ. Yeah, they're just like, this is just like, what do they call it? Not Timu, but like the
Wish,
yeah, version of Hellraiser. Those were like the Wish versions of Cenobites, essentially, that were in this film. He basically
had like the film in his head, like the camera.
Yes,
in his eye,
yeah. So he comes on Earth and he's wreaking some destruction on Earth. Pinhead. He's like walking amongst humans and like killing a bunch of them at one point of this movie. He gets brought to Earth through whatever goes on with the main characters without getting too far into it. And he ends up warping a lot of the humans as he does, like transforming them into Cenobites. And they're all just these crappy Cenobites that were never to be seen again, honestly, other than this movie. And in a way, it's kind of fun and wacky and like
the one with the twisty guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was the only cool guy.
Yeah. I think the twisty twins? Ones are in this. I think there's about 4 of them in this.
Yeah.
If it's the twins aren't in this one, then they're definitely in the next one, I feel like. I think it's definitely coming up. Maybe if you want to look it up. I am. But the plot's not as good. The acting is really bad. The main girl, she's not in this film anymore, the final girl from the first 2 outings. And that's what I said, like, it's kind of entertaining, that stuff, but it's not good, if that makes sense.
No, the twisty guys aren't in this one.
Okay, my mistake. Sorry. There is a guy where he does mess with his face, though, right?
They're
little bit
messed up their faces.
No, I know, but there's the guy with the CDs in his head. There's the
guy with the eye.
Oh yeah, that's like a camera.
Film.
Yes.
A guy with like rods through his head.
Okay. That's what I'm thinking of. Then
wires, and then a chick. There's always a chick.
Yeah. Okay, so the conjoined twins one isn't the in this one.
Yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm willing to go with the C on this one, honestly.
Okay, that's where I was going to
because I feel like when we first watch it, it may have even been as low as a D. But like I said, as the series went on,
this one raised a little bit.
Yeah, because there was some
C for entertainment.
Exactly, for entertainment purposes, I think we got to put this in a C section. Because there is some funny things, whether it's purposeful or not. In this. Entertaining, yeah. Like when he had, and again, these things don't happen past like the first few films. Like there's not to the extent of like
nothing sticks. Nothing's in continuity at this point.
Right. Like, but nothing like this where he's coming to Earth or walking around or like in majority of the film. Like that's none of that happens in like the second half of this franchise, essentially. So that's what I mean. Like as the movies went on, I looked back and I was like, you know what? At least they tried to do some fun things in this one, as wacky and ridiculous as it got at times, right?
It was so weird.
So yeah, take that for what you will. Okay. So coming up now with number 4 in the series, the 4th film, Hellraiser Bloodline. By the way, this is 1996 Hellraiser Bloodline, just to let you know where we're at in the years of the films. Number 3 was done in 1992. So at this point, so it's 97, 98 for the first, sorry, 87, 88 for the first 2. Then it's a few years to the third one, 1992. And this is the last, I think, entry, this 4th film. It's either the 4th or the 5th. That was in theaters. I think it's this one, though. I think this was the last.
This one, but
I think it's this one. This was the last one that had like big studio funding in the theaters, not straight to video type of horror release for the character. I remember I was even bagging some comics the other day, and there's an ad for this film on a bunch of comics.
Oh,
This
really?
Hellraiser Bloodlines. Yeah. So this definitely was in theaters.
So the studio actually cared at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, and even like the collections that you see out there, if you're going to buy some of the nice, like 4K or Blu-ray sets, the first 4 films are collected in some of those sets. After that, there's no collections, because like they only have the rights to the films from the studio at the first 4.
Right.
Everything else after is like, I guess, different
one-off
studios or funding or whatever. They'll never be, unless they come to some agreement, like a collection of all the movies, like there is, like for the most part for Jason and Freddy and all that kind of stuff, though. So I like this one, actually. This one gave like a lot of backstory to the mythos. It goes all the way back to like
you gotta be in a good like a different headspace for this one, because it's not in the same vein as the first 3. Like the way the story is told is not the same. So
Angelique.
You're time jumping. So basically, like, you're going through one character's ancestry on how the box was made. So it's like the ancestors of the box.
Toy maker.
Yeah. Toy maker to the king.
Yeah, exactly. And like Doug Bradley, again, just great line readings with all that stuff. Like he says the word her name Angelique like 100 times in this movie. And every time he's like, Angelique. It's just the way he says it. So there's this woman who's like also from I guess hell, but like serves a different purpose that kind of like gets in his way along, like, you know, whatever he kind of likes to. That's the other thing. There's always like these opposing people that get in Pinhead's way, it seems like, whether it be from hell or on Earth. And
can't have it all.
No.
That would be too easy.
And this is also, I think, the one, if I'm not mistaken, or was that the third one? This is also the one where you learn about his past as well, isn't it? Or is that in one of the earlier entries? Actually, that was the second film. Yeah, that's the second film. That's actually something we didn't mention. He's like a soldier back in like the World War II. I think it's World War II, like a war or something like that.
One?
Yeah, I think it's the second one where they explain his past.
Okay.
That's the only one where she actually somehow saves him, because when it comes to the third one, that's when he's stuck inside that statue after he got killed, right? Yeah. So that's in the second one. You actually learn about who Pinhead is, like who the man was before he became Pinhead and became this person, right? So in this one, again, they flesh out a lot of the background of the creation of the puzzle box, how there's been different ancestry, hence the bloodline name of this movie, of the people that make the puzzle boxes throughout history. And yeah, like they're once again, he's trying to create the puzzle box unknowingly, like a new version of it. Essentially, he's like an architect in this movie, and it kind of goes from there. And you get all these past moments. Adam Scott's in this, makes an appearance in this. You get all these like past sequences at the start of the film and throughout. And because it says here, the past, the present, and the future will all meet at the crossroads of hell in this.
And like you're so far in the future where like you're in space.
Or yes, that's right. And they have like a ripoff of Alien, the movie, instead of
Ripley. We got
Rimmer.
Yeah.
Which the space sequences are pretty fun too. So like,
this is a fun film.
It's, again, at first glance, you might be like, this movie sucks. But if you actually
let it stew,
we've watched this one a few times now.
And also, if you watch all of them like we did,
we've watched.
This is a hard series to watch back to back.
I honestly saw somebody make a review about this on Letterboxd, and it honestly encapsulated exactly how I felt about my feelings towards the series. They put it very well. They said, as you go on throughout this series, and I don't recommend anybody watch them this way. If you do, retroactively start to appreciate earlier films within the franchise, because it just seems to get worse and worse and worse as it goes on. So you know what? I'm gonna pitch a B ranking for this. Yeah,
it's easily above the third one for me.
Yes.
And when we actually watched this, we screwed up on watching it. I think we watched this one.
We did. We watched this third, and then we had to go back and do this.
Yeah.
The actual third film. So we actually seen these out of order. The only time we did that when we were watching the whole series. To the point where we were like, oh yeah, 3 movies in, this franchise is still good, right? But then again, we also at that time thought though, like,
this shit got weird.
yeah, but the fact that there's 3 different time periods in this movie that you're watching, and he kind of has to like get taken out in all of them, and we're so far flung in the future. Like their idea of what the future is going to be like in this movie is fun, you know. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of fun things in this movie, and yeah, definitely B ranking for me. The more we talk about it. Okay, so here's when it starts to get rough.
Yeah, we're taking a turn now.
And I want to say, hold on, I want to say it's this one. Okay,
Inferno.
yeah, no, I know, but
Oh.
I want to see if this is the first one. It's either this one or the next film in the series, but this is when the studio basically is just using scripts for other films and basically just dropping Pinhead into the movie itself. I want to say it's the next movie that it starts that. Interesting enough, you know who directed this film, Christine? I actually saw this the other day, and I thought this was the case, and I wanted to kind of confirm before we move we move forward with this. This movie was directed by a young Scott Derrickson. Scott Derrickson recently had a movie that was in theaters called Black Phone 2.
Oh, okay.
He also directed Black Phone, the original, and Sinister with Ethan Hawke. He was the director of all those films. So this is a more modern, this is a guy that went on to continue to do horror movies that have actually had some success later in his career.
I feel like this has to be the one of the ones that they took another script for.
This is where it starts, you feel like?
Do you remember which one this is?
Yeah, so I'll just give you the write up here. The terrifying new chapter in the Hellraiser legacy. A detective solves the puzzle box that releases the diabolical demon, Pinhead. As those around him begin to meet tragic fates, he sets out to conquer the horrifying villain. This is, I think, the one that's like 7 essentially, right? But there's a couple of them. So there's a couple of movies they start like copying, it seems like, throughout this series. This is the one that's very much like 7, but they become like detective noir films almost in a way, with like serial killers and different aspects to it. And I want to say, is this the one with the detective that is a bad guy?
Yeah,
essentially.
he's an asshole.
Yeah, so he's a piece of shit detective. And I want to say this is the one.
It's the one with Nicholas Turturro.
Right. This is where it starts to become psychological. Okay, so this is where Pinhead is basically making him replay the same day over and over. It kind of feels like a Memento. Kind of, yeah, or Memento for that matter, because that's more of like a crime kind of, yeah. So, yeah, it's Groundhog Day or Memento. You find out the twist at the end of this movie, which is the only good part, honestly, about the movie for a moment, where you realize that Pinhead's actually just been in the background and he really doesn't pop up until the end officially, because it seems like he's popping up throughout the film, but he's just, he's imagining things, he's screwing with him in his head. Cenobites you start seeing pop out throughout the film. But you find out at the end that
manipulating Cenobites,
right, and he's like working a case throughout the movie. But then you find out at the end that this guy was a piece of shit detective who's crooked, and I think he's also a murderer, isn't he? Like this guy that's trying to cover up like a murder that like he committed, I think, throughout the day, if I'm not mistaken. Again, these blend together, so I've even tried to take notes on this, and it's hard to remember. And by the end, you find out that this is basically his penance. Like he's just repeating the same day throughout throughout. He's in hell, essentially, is the twist at the end.
He put his own hell,
which would be a clever and fun twist if the movie itself didn't suck so much. Oh, so for this one, I got to go a D ranking. Yeah,
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Okay, so and then these next 3 for sure, if it wasn't Inferno, these are the films I think that are directed all by the same person, that are now they're basically, the studio is just taking scripts and remixing them and putting Pinhead into them.
Yeah.
So
the next one we watched was Hellseeker, right?
Yes. Okay. This is Hellseeker. That's the next one in the franchise. This came out in 2002, and it's the first one that was directed by Rick Boda. It says, evil, deadly, immortal. When the puzzle box is once again solved, Pinhead and his legion demolish all who dare oppose them. But standing in his way is the only person who has defeated Cenobites of the past. So this is the one I think with your buddy there, Dean Winters from Oz, O'Reilly, and it's the return of Kirsty from the original 2 films.
That's
this is the only other time she actually sadly returns to the franchise, as far as I know.
They tried to do a callback at this time.
Yeah. So this is the one where
6 films in.
Yeah, this is the one where Dean Winters, who has gone on to do much more successful things as well, and I guess is most, for me anyways, is I know he's in John Wick, the first movie, and I most know him as O'Reilly from the Oz, like we both do. Yeah. Christine actually ran into him one day downtown Toronto. Yeah. So and he also does those TV ads for the insurance company, Geico, or something, one of those ads. One of the
insurances.
Yeah, maybe not Geico.
State Farm,
that's it.
And then he's also in SVU.
That's
Law
right.
and Order.
That's right.
So was his brother. Sorry, weird tangent.
The one O'Reilly's brother from Oz,
is also in.
Of course, reunited.
Yeah, but they're not in it together.
No.
Missed opportunity.
So Dean Winters, basically, again, just a piece of garbage. You're going to see ongoing themes throughout these next few films.
There's a piece of garbage person who goes in and gets punished.
Yeah.
From fucking Hellraiser.
He ends up falling into a river off of a bridge or something and almost dying, but his wife ends up dying. And you find out, it's so obvious right from the start, though. You find out at the start, like, his memory's not all great about what had happened. And like, he seems like he's pretending that he's sad that she died, and he's walking around and he's being investigated throughout the film. Like, was this purposeful, or what exactly happened there that day? And then again, as you go on throughout the film, you find out this guy's not a good person. He's tripping out. Again, he's starting to see Cenobites throughout the movie.
Yeah.
He's tripping out, and they're investigating him. Again, and then it gets to the end. The twist of this film is you find out that his wife, Kirsty, who's from the original movies, which I didn't even realize when we started watching the movie.
They don't even make it known.
Yeah. It is the girl from the original Hellraiser films, and you find out that he did try to kill her, but in that moment when he tried to kill her with the puzzle box, because he like gives her the puzzle box as a gift, and he thinks that, I guess, she doesn't know like what this is. He doesn't know about her past, I guess, with the puzzle box, and he tries to gift her the puzzle box in order to kill his wife, because he wants to kill her and, I guess, take her money or whatever. And it ends with her tricking him and using Pinhead. She once again leverages Pinhead for the second or third time. It's like, essentially, like, is able to be like, I'll make you a deal, Pinhead. He's like, a deal. Yeah, all right. I like the sounds of this. Even though you screwed me over every other time. So you find out that he basically comes in and he's been envisioning this whole scenario throughout the film that isn't actually the case, and she tricked him. And Pinhead comes at the end and says, like, oh, she made a deal you didn't know about it. The chains come out of everywhere as usual, bust them apart, and she has to basically go to hell. Yeah. So one thing entertaining to see Dean Winters in this film.
Yes.
Another thing, this film still sucks, and the ending is the only, again, entertaining part I feel like about the movie. It's just a slog of a film to get through. It's not well directed. This is in 2002. It's straight to video at this point. I don't know. Is this also a D ranking for you?
I was gonna give it a C.
You're willing to go up to a C for this one?
Go to a C for me.
I mean, the more we talk about it, the ending is I think the ending is good. It is interesting to see that character again from the first 2 films. We do like that, the fact that Dean Winters is in this.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember if there's any standout scenes though in it. Although I'm looking at my ranking of it here, I did rank it a little bit above. Actually, no. No, I ranked it probably just as low as some of the others, but no, that's not true. Okay, so C, you want to go C with this one?
I still had fun with it, and it was kind of neat if we're gonna give it a little leg up with having Kirsty come back, even though we didn't even realize she was there.
I'm okay with it, but I mean, like, if ideally I would put this in between C and D, if that makes any sense.
C.5.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, we can add that tier right now if you want.
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, so we're actually pretty spread out right across the board at this point, honestly. So that's horror franchises for you. or this one. Okay, so
Which
this
one
is
were
the
we at?
movie
Are
we
we at
had.
Hellworld?
No, we're at Deader now. The one we
Oh,
completely
Deader.
forgot.
Okay.
We did. So we've never seen this movie. We didn't even
That's
really.
right. And it came out the same year as
I think.
Hellworld.
Yeah. So
Yes.
both.
2005.
No, Deader came out in 2000. Yes. So these next two films are the last films in the franchise until years later.
By
And
Rick Boda.
Yeah, and again directed by the same director, and part of the scripts that they were basically just dusting off for other films and inserting Pinhead awkwardly in them, which also would, I guess, add to the fact of why he's in them so little, because they were kind of crowbarring him into them. So Deader is a film that we never actually even watched. We somehow slipped between the cracks for us when we were watching all these movies the first time around. So this was a first time viewing for us. This was terrible. Oh, this is absolutely. So now this is the one where it is basically again a crooked cop, right? I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up a photo just so I can.
The latest, most terrifying evil, when a tough as nails reporter. Oh, this is the reporter one. So this is the one where a reporter works for a newspaper, and somehow this small newspaper is like sending her.
Gets in on the, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes. This is the one where they go to like
or something like
yeah,
that.
I
can't remember what European country or whatever it was.
Yeah. You know what? This is. So here's the thing about this movie. It's so boring and crappily made, but it actually has a cool idea to it.
Yeah. It just was poorly executed.
Yes. This is, sorry guys. Like, again, they all meld together. so that's what this movie was. So she's a reporter and she gets sent somewhere to investigate this cult of Pinhead, essentially.
Yes, that's what it was.
It's almost like the cult of like the Halloween.
Cult of the Deaders.
That's Deaders. Yes. That are basically killing themselves and bringing themselves back to life as undead, essentially, and living amongst the like basically.
But they don't even live. They just like convene in this space.
Yeah.
They don't even do anything.
And there's a dude that like is the one that has the power to basically bring them back from the afterlife after they kill them in this ritual. And she's a reporter that is sent to kind of investigate this trail of some strange stuff happening
like
that
snuff
leads
film,
to
essentially.
This is like 9mm essentially.
Yeah, they got a snuff film that they came across, and then they sent her away into this remote depths of a country, and all of a sudden she's in this building that she's supposed to stay at.
It's like a hostel or something.
Like, this one random dude works there, and there's a deader chick that's in a. Like, no one's walking in this building.
There's a really cool moment where she goes into the subway, and it's like the Matrix subway system where like the subway, the actual train is a train that just travels through the subway that has this party on it. That's all these like goth people and people that are like these deader people just partying on it. Like a bunch of like nude people and people dressed up in like weird, like goth, like kind of like garbs and like are just like getting hammered and doing drugs like in this train. It's so weird. There's a lot of fun, again, ideas and weird sequences in this movie, but it definitely felt like 9mm, like
too much in one thing.
The dirty like underbelly, like kind of society and cult stuff that goes on in this. Again, cool idea, bad execution. Like I actually did appreciate it.
Too much they tried to pack into one little thing. Also, like
the woman sucked as well, though. The actress in this is not good.
But when she was in the seedy apartment trying to like get around who she thought was a dead woman to get the box, I'm like, bitch, you have a meter of space.
Yeah.
Just walk.
Yeah.
And she's like stretching and like it was like 5 minutes, I shit you not, of like her stretching, trying to get this thing.
Yeah.
And then whoops, it falls.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. Yeah. I again we tried to latch on to the things we enjoyed in some of these really bad films. See, at this point, I almost feel like we should put Hellseeker in D and put this as a C, because I actually did like certain elements, but the bad parts are so bad in this one, though. The other one's just kind of boring and kind of like you know what I mean?
Linear?
Like, yes. Whereas this one, I'm like, this one had potential if it actually backed it in a better way.
Yeah.
I honestly do think that, because as a concept, the plot in this one isn't bad. They just weren't
just shit. couldn't.
And
do
again,
it.
Pinhead's not in this movie. Like, there's like a whole thing where like you see
It's
him
at the very end.
again. He shows up like at the end when he kills basically the cult at the end.
Yeah, because they're taking his way of life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he doesn't approve of what the hell they're doing because
Yeah.
they're basically bringing people back from the dead and they're not sacrificing themselves the way he likes to have them sacrifice.
Well, it doesn't come to his realm.
That's right. Like his domain, like they're basically fucking with them.
Yeah.
See, that's, I mean, I like that. I like all that stuff in this movie. It's just, it's bad. The acting's bad. The main actress sucks. There's some weird things going on in this movie that don't make sense.
No.
But I just find it
holes everywhere.
I just find it more interesting and less boring than the one we just put in the C ranking, if I'm being honest with you.
If you want to switch it, we can switch it.
Okay. I mean, it's so bad though, too. Are you in agreement so in that regard? Because I think even talking about it, like it had potential. That's why I'm giving it.
I love cult things, so I was really excited about that, and then
yeesh. Yeah. Okay. So we're putting in Deader at C and we're moving
even the train
Hellraiser, Hellseeker to D. Yeah, I like that stuff in this one. It's just again the end product.
We did
was not great.
them the same, or I rated them the same
as Hellseeker and this one. I just
gave them both 2 stars.
I just don't think we can justify putting 3 in C ranking because you know what I mean. So
no. I get what you're saying.
And Hellraiser, Hellseeker, and Hellraiser Inferno, the tone of them is very similar.
Yeah.
It was just very boring of a plot and very similar. Those are actually the 2 I mix up, is Inferno and Hellseeker in terms of the plot lines.
Okay.
They're somewhat different, but I just feel like the idea of following this dirtbag guy around the whole film is what those 2 movies are, right? Essentially. So, okay. So moving on. Okay, so this is the one we actually have we like this one. I'm not, no dancing around it. We do like this one. We have a soft spot for this next entry, which is
I have fun with this,
which is Hellraiser Hellworld, which is this one you could 100% tell was supposed to be a different movie. This is actually how me and Christine discovered this the first time, because we actually looked into it. We're like, this seems like this was like going to be a different movie, and this is straight up out of the period of the teen kind of like teen horror film era, and that's essentially what this is. It's a movie where these teens, they used to play this video game. This is in the world where like people acknowledge like widely that Pinhead and the Cenobites and Hellraiser exist. And they're using that idea to basically play a video game online where they can solve puzzle boxes. And he's
like a mythos. He's not like an actual figure,
but he's a character that exists, like in that sense. Like he's kind of like just talked about in like, whispers and like small circles in the other films. And this one, it's like, it's a phenomenon, this game, right? Like of kids playing.
And people want to be included.
That's right. And there's a whole subculture of people that like the game. They're fans of this idea that this exists.
Yeah, and it's like this computer game, which when you look at what they're playing, again, puzzle box is not puzzling. And
very, very early appearance of Henry Cavill, who went on to play Superman in this later in his career, and other great things, honestly, for that matter. So this is, again, one of those kind of fun appearances by an actor that we should shout out, because there's so many unknowns, at least in that we don't really know in that sense throughout this film series in other projects. But Henry Cavill is in this. And it's a group of younger people. There's the whole... So basically they get this invitation to go to a house that's holding a party for the winners of this game that they play online.
So if you beat this game, you get the invitation. So it's like the exclusivity, like everyone wants, and you win this game, they send you the address. Like you can't get the address to this house unless you've beat this. And
they go to this crazy party, and it's almost like Sodom and Gomorrah. Like it's like people having sex all over this, like eyes wide shut type party, secret party. And like you need to have like a pass, even though everyone just strolls in.
They're like, oh, do we need a guest? And they're like, yeah.
You need like a secret invitation. You have to have one that you had to solve the puzzle box online to get there. Anyways, as these movies do in the same fashion with the twist at the end, this one's no different. And the twist in this one is that their friend that they used to play this game with, who was killed actually tapped into Pinhead, like accessed him through, I guess, a real puzzle box from playing this game in their past, from this friend group that they're all kind of mourning at the start of the film because he died. He ended up getting killed, and the father seeks out revenge on these friends for killing him, who was an absentee father who was never really in his life, and he was also a piece of garbage. He basically is the one that brings them all to this house and makes them trip out on drugs, like hallucinogens, and makes them think that all this stuff is happening to them. Meanwhile, they just all got killed, and they're all buried in the ground at the end of the movie. And the cops end up finding that this party went on, and that they kind of, and you find out like in their heads they were alive, but they're all just dead in the ground this whole time. Like it's like weird. We're seeing these moments play out, like these hallucinogenic moments in the actual film, and you find out like he just killed them all essentially at this party. And at the end, he has the actual puzzle box with him. After this all goes down, he ends up playing around with it, and of course Pinhead comes and kills him at the end there for I guess like a revenge of sorts, I guess, because this guy did have wrongdoing. Like he basically killed all these people because of their part in his son's life. But it's just funny because like this was him kind of making it up to his son that he wasn't close with, was killing all these people like a revenge of sorts.
Friends.
Yeah.
Yes, father.
So anyways, but the whole teen aspect of this, the fun stuff happening at the party, the whole idea of this weird twist at the end, even the actor who plays that guy, I want to give him a shout out, Lance Henriksen, who's been on a bunch of other things as well. If you look up his resume, he's the dude that's at the house that's kind of running this party.
Right.
He's another familiar face in this film for that matter. We have fun with this one because it plays to that era of the teen horror movie aspects.
Very much so.
It has some fun moments in it, and it kind of leans into the fact that it's supposed to be purposely cheesy.
This is easily a B for me.
And this is also my favorite of the Rick Boda directed films that went straight to video 100%. That were based on different scripts. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a B as well. Yes, I'm totally fine with that. This has always been like one of the ones where we're like, this is crappy, but we really enjoy it.
Yeah, and it gives you like 13 Ghost vibes.
Yes.
Because like you're locked in a puzzle house
or House on Haunted Hill or something
like
that whole era of that type of. It fits nicely into like they were doing it right. It seemed like for that period of films.
Just didn't get popular.
That's right. So okay, so there you go. So there's that one. All right, let's get to it, shall we? Hands down, the worst film in the entire franchise comes several years later in 2011. No, I'll put the picture of him up. Hold on. In 2011,
do it there.
So this is the first movie where Doug Bradley is no longer involved with any of the films in this franchise with the old studios. They basically abandon this, and this is their attempt to bring this property back, I guess, save the IP and bring back
with a man-child Pinhead,
a short, stocky, weird-looking man who plays Pinhead. They could have been farther from the look of the original Pinhead.
He does not look threatening at all.
I know
he looks like a doofus.
Within the community of people that are fans of this movie, everyone agrees that this was a terrible casting choice and look, and they must have had like no money for this movie because it looks so bad. It's comical, yeah. And I'll just put a picture of him here up on the screen here, just to show you.
I tried in the corner.
It's okay. I'll bring it up.
Because oh my god.
Yeah, I mean. And the guy behind him is a proto Pinhead. They basically. Also, you want to talk about bad acting in these films? This is terrible. The script and the actors in this movie, it almost feels like they're in another film altogether. It's so low budget, and this is like, honestly, it feels like, without me having like researched this, it feels like, again, they're just trying to save the IP of this character, or maybe like whoever owned this, like the rights to do these films.
Let it expire.
And they put in like somebody, it's just so uninspired. Basically, this was like a bunch of two kids that are friends that go to Tijuana, Mexico to party. Yeah. And they come back, and while they were there, they encountered, I guess, the puzzle box, and one of them comes back dead, like with the skin stripped, and is and basically pretending that he's the other guy, wearing his skin. And he like infiltrates their family to make it seem like he's their son, but it's not the son, it's the friend. And then as the story, and he like, and he's like, he's trying to bang the girl that's supposed to be his sister. And it's so low budget. And it basically all takes place in this house. And then the worst Pinhead we've ever seen in the franchise, who's not Doug Bradley, shows up at the end, and he looks like that guy. You're like,
what?
This, I mean, when we clicked on this tier, they did not have an F ranking, guys, but I had to add the F ranking on this specific tier for this film. This goes right at the bottom, without question, the worst film of the franchise. This is Hellraiser film. Revelations from 2011.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you go on Letterboxd, it has a 0.5 rating, the most overall, and a 1.3 average. It's one of the worst in the series. Me and Christine give it a 0.5 half a star on there as well. Terrible.
I like this one guy's headline: Hellraisers, the porn parody.
I mean, it has the same acting as a porno, honestly. It's the same. I've seen better acting in a porno, for that matter, honestly. This is so horrendous.
When I knew that we had to rewatch this, I was devastated.
I know. I remember that was we were having, believe it or not, we were having so much fun with the last few films that we talked about.
Were fun.
Compared to this one, because like when we watched this years ago for the first time, we said we're never gonna watch that movie again. And honestly, now that we've done this list, I mean it.
Fully can.
Never gonna watch that movie again. Yeah, no.
Don't waste your fucking time.
It's not even bad entertaining, which I think is the biggest like bad thing I can say about it.
I love bad entertaining.
Yeah. It's just bad.
Movies.
Okay. So next up, you know what? I should get a shirt like this with him on here.
With the baby face.
That would be hilarious, right? Okay, so the next
put him in like the corner up here.
So next film in the franchise, we have Hellraiser Judgment, which came out in several years later again. 2018. This one's directed by Gary J. Tunnicliffe. So it's another director again from the last one, and another person playing Pinhead. Although this one, they went the total opposite. They use a big dude for this one. This one, again, he doesn't look like great, but at least compared to Doug Bradley. But he's better than the last Pinhead, honestly, in this one. Like, yeah, this guy is a big dude, I believe, that they used in this. If I'm not mistaken, I believe. Or maybe, maybe he's 5'10". I don't know. But he's just compared to the shrimp that they just used in the last one, I'm pretty sure this guy's a big dude that they use in this one. I don't know if it's this film. But I know there's like sometimes films and franchises where they start to use like wrestlers and stuff as the guy. Yeah. I don't think it's this one. Paul T. Taylor. I'm just looking at him here. Oh, he's been in other things too, like Sin City, Super. I've seen him in some other movies. I don't know who he played in those people.
Oh, he's only 5'11", but yeah,
he's my height. Then he's a little higher, a little taller than me.
Pretty cool.
So again, this one had cool ideas in it, but the film itself not the greatest. I would argue. But the things I liked about this,
he is an MMA fighter. Sorry.
See, I thought that's what I heard. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Lightweight.
Okay, but he's still a fighter. Yeah. Okay, I thought I had heard that about this guy. So better Pinhead, I would say. Yeah. Again, not touching Doug Bradley, but that's fine.
He did his thing.
Very gross. One of the grossest entries in the series. It's disgusting. Like the shit that goes on in this movie.
This has the twin heads.
Yes. So this is like the problem with this movie, though, is that you could tell that they're just trying to do like, and this is the one that's plot is like Seven. This is basically a Seven-esque type of film.
Yes.
With a cop. The whole idea is that they are in a house on Earth. The Pinhead is chilling in a house on Earth where people are stopping by there and being judged for their sins. And there's somebody who's the abjugator, which is actually a cool new entry into the Cenobite world, I thought, who's like the lawyer who basically assesses like the situation, the sins of the person that comes in there. Yeah. And then they get put into a room where I guess like, no, sorry, that's the lawyer character that comes in, and he disgustingly eats their sins that are written on a piece of paper and typed out. in with tears of children or something, and then he vomits it out, and then the vomit, there's all these weird Cenobites
in the background
who analyze the puke and are able to tell, put their hands
in the sludge, and then they have to like get the
so it's very gross. It's but it's also a very kind of interesting out there idea.
Nothing that's seen in the last
that they're judging these people based on their sins and then kind of dealing with them.
Yeah.
And what happens is this cop finds this place because they're investigating a murder. And then you find out when the cop goes in there that his sins are so bad that it like messes up the whole like process. And he escapes. And then they kind of are just monitoring him. And then you find out through like a series of like whatever happens throughout the film that he was the murderer he's investigating throughout the movie.
Yes.
And that's why like he does get his comeuppance at the end of the film, but he ends up taking some people out along the way.
But like he broke the system.
Right. And then the interesting twist about this one at the end, though, is when he actually comes and is going to confront this guy, there's a heaven and hell battle happening at the end of this, which is like I think it's been referenced in earlier movies, but like really. Not to this degree. There's like a woman who's in other things. I think she's like in a bunch of CW shows or something, maybe, the actress. Yeah. She's been in other things. She shows up and she's basically like an angel. And her and Pinhead go back and forth as to oppose like why, like she says to him, you can't touch this guy. She won't allow him to take him.
Yeah.
And he's like, why? She's like, because he's like one of these like religious freak people, essentially, who's like trying to do murders based on different passages within the Bible, which is like 7. Like that's what this plot is taking from, essentially. So she wants him to be able to preach the word of God more. So she's like, don't touch him. He's ours to do with. He's like, okay, whatever. So he leaves him, and then he ends up getting killed like 2 seconds later by the main final girl or whatever in this movie. Bizarre. And then she's all pissed off. And then Pinhead comes and kills the angel. He rips her apart. He's like, I got you. Like, it's which I actually found entertaining at the end. I was like, okay, this is again something we haven't seen within this franchise. It is bad though. It is pretty bad as well. Like I just want to make that clear. That's where I'm. This is very tough.
I think I would pull C because of the intrigue of like the fact that they had that whole judgment section.
Right.
It was gross.
It was gross.
But I think that would edge it out for me to give it a C.
Yeah, like this movie's definitely like
has more creativity.
This is very edgelord. This film, like it's like trying to be gross and edgy for its own sake, like in that, like for just to be like, oh, look at this, like we're back, Hellraiser. You know what I mean? Like it's
done a thing.
Yeah. Yes, I'm okay with putting it at C though.
I would go C.
Again, though, like a lot of these C entries are like in between C and D, I would say. Like I would probably put this in the same spot. No, Deader for sure is there. I would put this above Deader in terms of like, even though they're in the same ranking, I would say Hellraiser Judgment's probably better than Deader.
Yeah, but we're not.
No, that's not the purpose of this. No. So you know what? I actually, so far, this is better than I expected it to be, honestly. Now we've talked through it.
I literally have a pyramid.
Yes, but I also think that, like I said, depending on the day, like there's some in the C that I could easily slip down to the D section. So I don't want to make it look like there's more better films than there is. Like they're all questionable. But if we're going to compare them all against each other, which we're doing here, this is the ranking. Yeah. Okay. And then finally in 2022, the newest entry into the series, which I think originally was an Amazon Prime film, which isn't on there anymore, but I think this originally went on Amazon Prime. I think this was a straight.
It not on Prime?
I don't know. It is, but I think you have to rent it now. They may have just removed it. I believe this was an original movie that was on a streaming service, though, like went straight to streaming service. This wasn't in theaters.
Yeah.
This is directed by David Bruckner. 2022. It has a young actress in it who I quite liked, Odessa Azion, which we just found out is Pamela Adlon's daughter, actually.
Yeah.
And again, it definitely had that feel of like a teen horror movie as well, I would say. So we watched this last, obviously. We were trying to watch them in order. This is a very very play it safe reimagining of the
you kind of need it.
Yes. Like at this point, after this film, if they were to come back and put some money behind another movie or like move forward with this timeline of Hellraiser, it is the era though where they are definitely doing like, you know, changing up the approach to things, like in that sense. Like let's bring in a woman Hellraiser now, right?
Yeah,
which is again,
so it is a female Hellraiser,
yeah,
or a female Pinhead.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, I know we're saying Hellraiser.
But
yeah.
the Cenobites
are back.
Yes. So good.
Yes.
This one, the Cenobites are bomb.
Yeah.
Like I would be scared.
Yeah.
Like there's one woman who has like, I don't know, her skin is like
a head flap.
She's
a head
got,
flap.
Like, a fucking.
There, I'll bring them up on the screen. Yeah.
That's like a headpiece, but her neck flaps out. Like it's just the most creative.
All the original great ones are there again. The Chatterer.
Yeah.
What's his name? The fat one. Is in this one, I think, isn't he?
Chump. I don't know. Yeah. I don't remember what his actual name was. They all have weird basic names.
Something Belly or something, I think, is the first guy. I might be wrong about that. Oh, here, hold on. I have the picture here. I'll bring it up. Yeah, here they are. So this is them. Yeah. Some of them reimagined, some of them new, but all of them really cool. So that's actually a great point. The Cenobites are back in this one, and they're
actually used.
Yeah, it is a woman Pinhead as well in this one, and this is a remake of Hellraiser essentially. This is not a continuation of the old one.
No, this is a full
on remake, reimagining of the Hellraiser films. Yeah. Which is a very, again, basic approach to the plot where a girl ends up with the puzzle box, and then it kind of turns into like almost like a 13 Ghost-esque situation in a building that is in and of itself a puzzle box. Like there's a guy that fashioned, a rich dude who continues to like has an obsession, did the research of the puzzle box, tries to ascend as a higher being of sorts because there's
to become a Cenobite, essentially like become an undead figure, and then regretted it,
which of course comes back to bite him in the ass. Also, they actually extend the lore, and you learn about different puzzle boxes in this one, how there's different puzzle
one puzzle box but different transformations that do different things,
which the last time I feel like you saw a transformation of the puzzle box was all the way back in the second film of the series,
but they didn't really talk about it.
Where there's like an obelisk type of
where it looks like a dagger type,
which he uses to basically stab him, and that happens actually in this film as well. But yeah, and then you have a group of younger actors in this. But then it kind of turns into like a haunted house type of film in the last half of it, because like they're chasing them around the house essentially. So and that's why I referred to like 13 Ghosts again, because they're all stuck inside of this building and being chased by these demons, right? So as you can see, there's one called the Mother that looks like a pregnant one. The Weeper, which his eyelids are ripped all the way down as well. The Gasp, which has is like the throaty woman, like reimagining of that one with their larynx like kind of ripped open.
The mask, he has like no skull, he's just a face.
Right. The Chatterer, which is a classic, again, reimagining of a classic one.
And I can't read
the asphyx, which is like an asphyxiation, I'm guessing. It's like being like it's basically
looks like the alien.
Yeah, kinda. And then let me just put up the picture of the actual Pinhead as well, because she's a new one as well.
And she also looked really cool.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll bring up that as well. Yeah, there she is right there. So, yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jamie Clayton, I guess, is the actress's name, right? It's Pinhead. Yeah, Jamie Clayton, the priest. That's what they call her in this one, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, so there you go. So that's the 2022 one.
She's got a white outfit, not the black one.
Again, they went a different direction with it, right? Yeah. So I can appreciate that.
And still...
You know what? I can go B with this.
Yeah,
I think I can go B with this one. It's a very, again, basic kind of setup and approach to it, but it's well needed at this point. Yeah. So I give a B for this. And honestly, I haven't heard anything new in terms of news about them doing another film after the 2022 one. The game is supposed to be coming out in 2026. That's been a long wait. I hope so. But I think that this is a good baseline to grow off of, whether or not they revisit this woman Hellraiser or a different Pinhead, or a different one in the next film. If it takes place in the same world or is similar, I think, in terms of just like a basic approach horror movie as this one was, because that's the thing about this. Like, I think as opposed to the other genres they were playing around with in the franchise and even the approach that the first movie took, this new one is more of like a horror film, like a ghost, like
film,
slasher type of
I'm
movie.
not a detective. I'm
right.
not a
right.
I am in
not a heaven
horror.
hell type of thing. Well, I mean, there's aspects of that obviously in it, but there's demons.
But I am not in like another film being.
It's like a haunted house horror. Like that's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah.
Which is a different tone. I feel like entirely compared to even the earlier good entries of the series. Honestly.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's definitely not the original. Like they tried to go a little bit different with it, and I appreciated the fact, and I wasn't mad at it. I thought it was a good, solid.
Yeah,
like,
you had like the junkie teenager trying to
like, I think I give it like a 3.5 rating. Like it was,
So good rating for these films.
Okay, so here's our ranking, everybody. What do you think of it? Are you happy with this?
I'm quite happy with this.
Yeah,
actually.
It's not bad actually. I think this is a good representation of the series as a whole.
Yeah.
Again, this is going to be your first.
This actually makes me feel better looking at it this way.
And then we actually were able to talk it out finally. Because I know going into this we weren't so sure. We were a little bit down after watching all of these movies, but it's just because there's a lot of tough entries, right? Yeah. And a lot of them that blend together aren't very different from one another.
You watch them back to back like we did.
Yeah. But yeah, here's the ranking. So we got the first film at the S superior ranking here.
Yep.
And then the second movie, Hellbound, is the second film in the series at the A ranking. And if this is gonna be your first foray into the series, I honestly would say watch the first two. And then, take a breather. You could actually even watch the first two and then watch the most recent one. That's a reimagining of it. And if you're really into the series at that point, you can watch them in order like we did. But if you do even want to like watch the originals, watch the first four. I think the first four, there's still
enough
merit there for and they still had a studio backing behind them and everything there. So, and it's the best of and use of Doug Bradley as Pinhead. Past the fourth film, he's not really in them. No. He's in there at the end. He's like got screen time for 2 minutes in every other film after that. First four. In the first four, though, he's very present in the movies. So I would say, first one. So, and then coming in at the B ranking, we have Hellraiser Bloodline, which is the fourth film in the franchise. Then you got Hellraiser Dead World, which is what, the seventh film or eighth? Like eighth.
Oh, I can't remember.
Eighth film in the franchise.
Yeah.
And then Hellraiser 2022, which is the 11th film in the franchise. Yeah. That's the B ranking. Coming in the C ranking, we got Hellraiser 3. I
can't really see. It's too small on my screen.
It's Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. Hellraiser Hell on Earth, which is the third movie. Hellraiser Deader, which I think is like the sixth movie, I want to say.
That's the one that came out the same year, yeah.
Yeah. And then Hellraiser Judgment, which is the 10th movie, the one before the most recent one. Yeah. Then you got Hellraiser Inferno coming in the D ranking, which I think is the 5th movie, and then Hellraiser Hellseeker, which is, I think, the 6th film in the series.
And then you got a piece of shit that shouldn't exist.
Because you said Hellworld and Deader were in the same year, 7. Okay. So then, so those are the ranking then.
Yeah.
And then piece of shit Hellraiser Revelations, which is the 9th film
should never have
in the franchise. Honestly, like skip that altogether. Save yourself the trouble. Don't watch that one. This is a good spread out ranking though. I do like I think we did a good job here. I'm not mad at it.
It'd be nice if we had something a little more solid, but
like I would say obviously first movie superior, second one almost as good. Third ranking here with the B movies. These are decent to good, enjoyable films. Maybe Hellworld, definitely a good to us type of movie, I would say.
It has more charm than I think you think it does.
Also, Hellraiser Bloodline and Hellraiser 2022 are probably the biggest mythos growing parts of the film as well.
Yeah.
In terms of like them talking about the puzzle box.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually the fact that we put those at B rank, I think makes sense in that sense. And then C, again, this is where you're going to get into the arguable between C and D ranking, where there's things about them that are enjoyable, but as a whole, they're not good movies. Yeah. So I would say, yeah, obviously, even in terms of ranking
from our
grades,
super to B.
yeah, super to B.
Those 5
I
films
think
are
you'll be
pretty
good.
solid.
Yeah. And you really
The
don't
next
need to
6
bother
are-
with. You really don't need. And even though there's a through line of the character, there's no through line of story.
Storyline, no.
That's actually one of the good things about this franchise
Until
too.
you hit Dean Winters.
It's an anthology series.
Throwback.
Yeah, which with the girl showing back up, which it really doesn't matter, honestly.
You don't even know that it's her.
You don't really. They don't really do anything with her either.
You don't find out until like late, and all of a sudden he's like, Kirsty.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, oh.
So yeah, there's our Hellraiser ranking.
Yeah,
very nice. So that'll do it for our discussion on the Hellraiser movie franchise.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing about it too. It is an anthology, so you could honestly check out, other than the first 2 films, you can check out any of those at any time. So
you're good.
So if any of those sound entertaining to you for whatever reason, check them out. This was fun. I would be interested to do this for Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th or one of those franchises another year if we were to continue to do this.
Yeah.
I did have a lot of fun doing this. So yeah, so there you go. And that was our Tier Maker website. Shout out to them, not ours. We don't have affiliation, but it's a fun website there. So make sure to like and subscribe.
That is pretty cool.
Check out our playlist. Check out the other episodes we've been dropping this week for Halloween lead up, and you and Katie being on the other 2, and me and Christine will be talking about our horror movie watches for spooky season that we watch all throughout the September and October leading up to Halloween. The first week of November that will come out. Did you want to plug the channel once again, your Instagram and
it's
TikTok channel with Katie?
Boozy Books with Chris and Kat. Again, we just write books, review books, create drinks, and have a good time.
There you go. But that's gonna do it, I think, for this episode. Once again, go Jays, go. That's right. Let's close it out here tonight. Thank you for everybody who tuned in for this. Happy Halloween, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye. Welcome to the show, everybody.